Sit back.
Crack open your favorite brew, pour it in a frosty mug.
Hey, and join us for the next hour or so.
I'm Keith Davidson.
And I'm Papa Joey Stay.
And we're your hosts for The Truth About Beer and...
Yeah, we're a podcast and YouTube channel where we get to talk about all the crap that we're interested in.
And best of all, you get to do it while sharing a brew amongst friends.
Yes, and we're so excited about today's episode.
Yes, we are. We really hope you enjoy it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Selfie, a photograph that one has taken of oneself, typically one taken with a smartphone or webcam and shared via social media. Occasional selfies are acceptable, but posting a new picture of yourself every day is not necessary. Dictionary.com.
So here we are again.
Episode 8.
The Truth About Beer and...
Selfies.
We like selfies.
Some people more than others.
Yes.
Too, you know, when you brought up the idea of doing an episode on selfies, I thought, what are we going to do? Just show pictures of ourselves or what? But then as we got into it more, it's like, well, yeah, there's a lot of crazy things to talk about when it comes to selfies.
Yes. Yeah. But, first I want to mention to everybody listening, first of all, thank you for those who are returning, checking
Absolutely.
out episode 8 and have been with us through our 7 other episodes that we've had. So we are currently streaming on, we have our YouTube channel. We're on Spotify.
Tune in.
Apple Podcast,
Stitcher,
Google Podcast,
iHeart. Did yours say iHeart?
No, I didn't.
No, I just said iHeart.
That was good. Is that it? We always miss one. We got TuneIn, Stitcher.
Got TuneIn, Stitcher. We had Apple. We have Google.
iHeart. I think that's everything for now.
Yeah, and I know Jay, who's an amazing person, is working on Pandora.
That'll be exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting when we get that. And speaking of Jay, you need to check out the website he created for us because it's pretty impressive, I think.
Yeah, and the fact that he's got us on so many different platforms is truly amazing to me too.
Definitely. And it's such a short time. That's what's more impressive, I think.
So
don't forget to go to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then they got to hit the little bell thingy, right?
Yeah, for the notifications.
Visit our website at www.thetruthaboutbeerand.com. And now we've also linked, I think it's ttabeerand.com. We'll take you to
a little
the website.
shorter.
A little shorter. Not as much typing. Yeah. If you type like me, you got to type it 10 times just to get it right. So I figured the shorter the better. Then you can email us if you have any suggestions for future episodes or you just want to let us know how we're doing. You can email us at thetruthaboutbeerand@gmail.com. Sorry, there's no shortcut for that. But
I think once you type it in once, it'll
stay.
So
if you have an up-to-date computer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, you can always find us on Facebook or on Instagram and Twitter also.
We're everywhere.
Yeah.
We're right here, right now.
Right here.
And look at this beautiful view. Wow.
I'm impressed.
Breathtaking, isn't it?
Pretty. Very pretty.
Yeah. Great place to take a selfie.
Get out your selfies. I forgot the selfie stick. We should have brought that with us, but that's okay.
All right.
We also need to mention again our t-shirts.
Oh, yes.
Got our Truth About Beer apparel. We have 2 versions now. You can get the couples t-shirt, which spells out cheers on the back when you stand cheek to cheek.
And it's like 2 glasses doing the cling thing.
Yep.
It's pretty cool.
And then our other shirt will feature all the streaming
Platforms?
Yeah,
Is that what you call it?
I always want to say forums or platforms or whatever.
Stations, channels. Channels?
All the places you can find us. How's that?
There are so many.
Soon to be changed once we get Pandora. That'd be nice. So
yeah.
pretty excited about this time of year, though. You know, we're in October. We're finally in fall.
My favorite season of all.
Yep. Why is it your favorite season?
Because I love Halloween.
You and I are the same.
Yeah.
I also like the fact that all the pumpkin beers come out, and the fact that it's actually going to start cooling off by 15, 20 degrees is really nice.
Gives you a reason to live.
But for those of you in the rest of the country, you tend to like the changing of the leaves, the colors of the leaves.
Well, I do miss that.
Yeah.
But we can go drive up to, Payson or Prescott Way and Flagstaff.
Well, you know what's funny is down here in the valley, there's areas where the leaves do change, but it's not till later on, isn't it?
Yeah, they go from green to brown.
I've seen some orange. I've seen some,
Maybe some yellow. Yeah,
a little bit. But
nothing
usually,
like, like the cottonwoods and all that when they're changing.
No, that's pretty. I've driven
Yeah.
through there when it's changing. Kind of reminds me of back east a little bit. So.
Yeah.
So we should talk about our beer.
I like this beer.
I should actually hold up the bottle. Hey, so people can see the bottle. I love the bottle. I think it's really cool.
Powell Quack.
It's
Out of
from
Belgium.
Out of Belgium. we I don't think we pronounce the town, but
Buggenhout.
to me I say bugging out, but
Bayon out.
If you look at it,
I think
it says bayon out. So we apologize if we're butchering the name right now, but
Yeah. I've tried this for the first time a few years back visiting Rachel. In fact, she told me to call her back.
we should call it.
Yeah, I'm going to call her right now because she said I could.
I think you should do that. Is it ringing? Oh, yeah.
There it goes.
It's ringing. Listen to that. You're live on the air.
So this is Rachel, our
Social media guru.
yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. So where you been?
Oh, just Cameron is putting the lift kit on the Jeep, so I've just been outside helping him with that, and we have music going pretty loud, so I can.
The reason I was trying to call you though, do you remember a beer called Powell Quack that had a really cool looking drink stand that Mom and I went out to dinner with you and Cam, and I think we were with the Kislows, I believe.
Okay, so that would have been here in Nebraska.
Okay, I thought so. And then this place had all kinds of beers from all over the place, and that's where I tried this Powell Quack. But I don't remember what the name of the restaurant was. Do you remember?
No, I'm trying to think of a place that has a lot of beers that we went to.
Yeah, 'cause this was early on when you got there. Oh, well. It's a tasty
Dang it.
beer. I know.
I wish I could help you. I'll have to think about it, but I don't. That was a long time ago.
So we're
No,
talking
sorry.
about this here beer, and I swear I tried it for the first time, then I was able to find it at Bevmo or Total Wine or something.
I got it at Bevmo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we got a big growler. It's a beautiful bottle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. 750 liter bottle of beer.
That sounds good. I can't really think about beer right now. I drank so much last night.
Well, I guess we'll get
I
back
think
to our
of it.
podcast
I'll
now.
let you know. Yep. Have fun. Have fun
All right.
recording, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
That's funny.
Well, it's fun that we can do that. Oh,
Yes.
I
That's
know.
kind of neat. This is very good, very tasty.
Yeah, I remember really liking it before.
So we're featuring a new segment in our episodes.
Yeah, every time I go back and watch past episodes, I cringe at things I say. And, if we were to try to go back and correct all the things that I cringe about, I mean, we could do a whole episode. Actually, I would probably redo every episode that we've done.
That's what happens when you think on the fly, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. We don't really plan when we do this, which is probably apparent when you, apparent. We're the children.
Really? Really? I thought we had a script every time.
Oh, yeah. We're really good. We're professionals. So we decided that we would, maybe take those things that we really regret saying and put it in a segment called
Walk of Shame, what we meant to say, or what we really meant to say.
Either way.
Either way.
But the walk of shame, it works with the beer,
Yes.
drinking, and then the correction part is what we meant to say.
So which one are we going to highlight today? Which episode?
Like I said, it would take a whole episode to make right everything that I believe I've said wrong.
Well, if you had to pick one, what would you pick?
I think I would like to clarify what I had to say about tuberculosis and the clinics or the
Acadia?
Yeah, well, it was the on the Acadia.
That was episode 6.
Episode 6, and we were talking about tuberculosis and how back in the early 1800s they would take the patients to a little higher elevation, cleaner air, because it would help. It wasn't to cure them, but it was a source of relief. And in that episode, well, you'll see what we said, or what I said.
This is what we said.
Exploring another hospital, sanatorium that was a tuberculosis place,
Where was that one?
This one was in Greece, but it was like high up in the mountains in Greece, and that was because back in the early 1900s, and during that time when the tuberculosis was really a crisis, and a lot of people were suffering from it. They had this misconception that moving their patients to higher elevations where the air was a little cleaner or clearer
would cure it.
Would cure it, But yeah, and that was really stupid to say that because I didn't really research it ahead of time. Because a lot of people did survive tuberculosis. It took 1 in 7. It was
I think was the biggest reason we said that was because we thought it would cure people.
We said they thought they did it as a cure,
right?
But they didn't do it as a cure. They did it as a relief and an opportunity to give them a chance to regain their health, and we got to talking about not in the episode, but since then you and I were talking about in those days, early 1900s and all that there really weren't that many paved roads.
No.
So that's a lot of particulates in the air from cars and horse and buggies and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it would have been a nice relief to get up to a nice higher elevation where they could rest and breathe the nice clean air and get better.
So just relief, not a cure.
Not a cure.
Well, that clears that up.
Yeah. But that was just a small thing. There's some crazy stuff that we've said, or I've said. I can't, Keith's much smarter than me. He's more educated.
We'll revisit. Each episode we'll revisit another episode and see what we want to bring up that we should have said differently, or what we meant to say.
Yeah. So
in our walk of shame.
Stay tuned.
I told my wife not to do it. And when she pulled out her phone and held out her arm, I knew what she was going to do. She made the duck face.
Paging Dr. Bisk, we have a hypertension.
picture after picture of the duck face. This is when I knew she had selfie-itis. It wasn't until I found the truth about beer and she was able to get help.
So Keith, why selfies?
It's an interesting question.
Well, that's why I asked.
It seems like in today's society, selfies are a big thing. Doing some research, you find out that I read an article in Psychology Today that said there's 6 motivators for why people take selfies. The first thing they say is self-confidence. It boosts their self-confidence. So I guess if you look at today's society, people are so focused on looks and fitting in, and that's what the media wants us to do and what movies want us to do. Everybody wants to be a rock star. So, I guess selfies help them to feel that way, to feel better about themselves.
Yeah, maybe it makes them feel like a movie star because they're posting it on
social media.
On social media where it gets seen by more than just their family.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. To get the attention.
That might give you a little more self-confidence, I guess.
Yeah, yep. Environmental enhancement was the next reason. Right here in Arizona, we have the Grand Canyon. Who doesn't want to go snap a selfie in front of the Grand Canyon?
Oh, yeah.
Right? I would.
I mean, what a better way to document, that you were actually there.
Right.
And to share that with everybody.
Oh, just take the country as a whole. I mean, back in the day, when you took pictures on a camera, you had to get the film developed. You had to wait. You had to wait for the pictures to come back. Now it's instant. It's instant gratification.
Right. You had to invite people over your house so they could look at your photo albums. Say, hey, this is when we were.
And then everybody in Walmart or wherever you took your pictures to got to see your family photos too. And now,
yeah, that always creeped me out. Thinking, what are they thinking of the photos that I've taken?
But think about the logic behind that, though. I mean, we were so freaked out with who was going to see our pictures. Now we post pictures all over the place. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah.
Everybody sees everything we do, what we have for lunch.
Yeah, I think of the new words that have come out since selfies and cell phones and all that, because sexting, that wouldn't make sense.
No.
Before.
No. Back in the day, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you hand somebody a funky picture on the street, say, hey, take a look at this. You're in school and you know how you pass notes, the person behind you say, don't look at this, but pass it to so-and-so because I want them to look at that.
Wasn't that called soliciting? Oh, wait, maybe not.
Yeah, now it's right there for everybody.
Then you have social competition, which is kind of what we talked about. Everybody wants to get the better photo out there on social media. Hey, look where I was. Well, my picture's better than yours. And
look who I was with.
Exactly. So it kind of takes privacy right out the window.
Yeah, in fact, Rachel's going to have to let us post this one. That it's not really a selfie because her husband took it, but she was at a concert last night and got a picture with one of the members of a band she really likes.
Same thing back in the day when you did something like that. You had to wait, because I remember when I was in Las Vegas, I met Kenny Chesney, and one of the promoters that was there took a picture, with me and Kenny, and I waited like 3 months to get the picture. I was like, they took my picture, but I got nothing.
Well, yeah, and then you had to have. I mean, you'd go to these things like this would have been probably 77, 76, 77. We went, these are things that we didn't document then, where if it happened today, I would be able to document everything because I'd always have my cell phone with me. But B.B. King was coming to town. This is when we were in Salt Lake. And his truck that had all their equipment in it broke down in Seattle. And so they were able to fly the band in, but they didn't have equipment for the band, And so the promoter of that concert happened to be the same guy that was promoting or booking my brother's band. And so he calls my brother and said, hey, BB King and his band need some equipment. So if you guys let him use your equipment, we'll get you into the show and, whatever. And you can probably meet BB and all that. So
Really?
yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah,
So yeah. We took our equipment there. We were on front row. It was awesome. BB's just, well, rest in peace, BB. BB used my guitar amp.
That's awesome.
And so that made it a really special concert for us. After the show, we went backstage and caught BB. He was in a nice big old fur coat and everything. He's kind of looked like a pimp. And so, we got to talk to him, hang out. He signed our tickets, and then I got him to, with a ballpoint pen, sign my amp.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So that's one of the items that I liquidated before we moved to Arizona.
Bummer.
But here we go. That's all I've got is stories. There's absolutely
No proof.
no video proof. I think I still have the ticket in a box somewhere, but that would have been cool.
If that would have happened today, you definitely would have got a selfie with BB King.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very much.
It'd still have to be alive today to do that.
Well, wait,
But
point taken.
But yeah, that was just one of those things, So today, like I said, it's so easy to document everything.
So what makes it good and bad, really? It's good that we have that, ability to do that, but it could also be bad at the same time.
True.
Because you can end up on a picture you don't want to be on.
Yeah. Ooh, I wasn't there. I promise. Oh, yes, you were.
Yes, you are. Here it is, right here. The other reason they say is attention seeking, which kind of, really? You don't want attention? Look at me.
Yeah, that's selfie-itis.
That is, and they coined that term, selfie-itis. I think we all have it. Very infectious.
Yes, at some point, perhaps. We do take selfies. I don't think I post them daily.
No, but we do. We take it for different reasons, though. Mood modification, maybe. Make you happier when you take a selfie? Or
Yeah, I
make you
think,
sad?
well, we talked about that a little bit, didn't we? Saying if you're in a really dark place and you're down and all that, and all of a sudden you take a picture of yourself in a happier mood, or you look back at pictures that you're in a happier place, and maybe you get transformed back to that, or transformed. Is that the word?
Sure.
What is it? What is it on Star Trek when they get beamed up somewhere? Transported.
Transported.
Transported. That's what I'm thinking.
How did we go to Star Trek?
I don't know.
It's a good reference, but
Live long and prosper. Okay. I feel better already.
do you? Is it the beer, or is it the fact that we're talking about selfies?
Yeah, I'm starting to feel bad about the beer because it's
It's going to get warm.
going to be almost gone too.
I know. We got to take a drink. But the other reason is subjective conformity. Okay. Holy God.
Swallowed that one wrong. Oh, I about fell off a cliff here.
Is that where we're at now?
Oh, I'm not sure where we're at right now.
Don't make me do CPR. That won't be good. Make for an interesting episode.
Subjective conformity.
Yeah,
That's a really deep one.
it is. Yeah.
It's subjective
Yeah.
and it's conforming.
Conform. Well, you're fitting in. You're fitting into a social group.
Into
Per se.
whatever
Or even just a group of peers.
True. That's what it is, yeah.
Everybody but Johnny is taking selfies, and Johnny wants to fit in, so Johnny's going to start taking selfies, right? Isn't that kind of what?
So he's not an
He's
outcast.
not an outcast. He fits in. I like that. That
Yeah.
works.
Wow.
So, you brought up selfie-itis. It is a real thing. They did coin the term. And wouldn't you know, they develop an app
They did.
for selfie-itis.
Yeah.
And I bet you 98% of you out there use it.
Let's see if you can guess what it is while we're talking here before
play?
we say what it is.
Should we play the theme to Jeopardy?
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, was it? Kind of. That's close.
And the winner is...
Oh.
You hit it too late.
I just didn't hit it quite hard enough.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I bet you guessed what it was.
It's Snapchat.
Oh, Snapchat.
Dun, dun, dun. Which we played around with a little bit.
We did. It was a lot of fun. I mean, it is a fun little app.
I'm starting to see more of the Snap, because you can record video on Snapchat now, so I'm starting to see more of that on social media. So,
yeah. In fact, our PSA that you saw earlier was done with a Snapchat filter.
which is great. That's awesome. So the Snapchat wasn't originally called Snapchat, though.
No, what was it called?
It was called Peekaboo. I like to say Peekaboo, but
Well, I know, but that is pick for
Peekaboo.
picture.
Yep.
And a boo.
So the problem they had with the Peekaboo app was people could actually save the pictures. So the whole idea of Snapchat is to be able to take a picture and the picture disappears. But they can still save the picture. But the good thing about Snapchat is it sends the other person a notification saying that you're doing a screenshot. So if I take a picture and I send it to you, you like it, you screenshot it, it sends me a message saying that you took a screenshot of my picture. And I can either...
You just can't be sneaky.
I can either cry or yell at you for doing it, one or the other.
So it's...
Depending on the picture.
So it's like Mission Impossible,
Yes.
right? It's going to self-destruct.
It's going to self-destruct.
Yeah, unless you do the old...
Screenshot. Mm-hmm. Then it stays forever.
That's what I tried to say. It didn't. It just didn't come out. Screenshot it. Wow.
So I found some interesting but scary statistics on Snapchat. So I didn't memorize this, so I'm going to have to read it off to you here. So the application boasts over 200 million daily users.
200
million daily users.
And if every one of them just sent us $1.
Right? Exactly. They consume about 800 hours of videos per second.
Wow.
800 hours of videos per second. That's staggering.
That's
numbers.
time warp.
Right? That's scary.
Yeah.
Don't people have jobs? Don't they work? Well, they Snapchatted jobs too, I guess.
Well, I guess if you divide that by 200 million.
Oh, now we're doing math. We're drinking
that
beer
would
and we're
be
doing math.
800 hours divided by 200 million. 800 hours divided by 200 million. To tell you how many minutes it comes out to that people spend on Snapchat. My lips are sticking together.
So the Snapchat app was created in 2011 by students from Stanford University. So kind of like all these apps are created in college, aren't they? Wasn't Facebook created?
I think so. Yeah, it was
Mark
Mark
college
Zuckerberg
students when he did it. Yeah, I thought that's what he was.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That was just a platform for students to keep in touch with each other, kind of thing. Huh?
So then they released it to Android users, and by 2017, it grew to over 100,000 users. That's a lot.
But nothing like it is now.
Well, they say 160 million users per day and an estimated worth of $24 billion.
Wow. Now, if they just gave us 1% of that, we're looking for money. We don't want to work.
Couldn't you tell?
Yeah, these guys don't work anymore, do they?
No more they don't.
No, they don't need to.
When you put out an app in 2011 and now it's 2019, yeah, I guarantee they're doing pretty good. So,
Man.
Why can't we create an app? We probably could, but...
But would anybody go for it?
Don't even know where to begin to do something like that. So, honestly, on a serious note, after you take your drink of beer, a serious note.
That's how I get serious.
So we do take selfies. We take selfies for different reasons, though. I don't think we use it for promotional purposes, like with the band. We'll take selfies of us on stage and we'll advertise where we are to get, try to get more people down to come see us or support what we do. And even on The Truth About Beer, we do selfies to get the word out there and show what we're doing. So I think in a sense, selfies are very positive. For I mean, advertisement is very expensive. If you were to buy advertising for a company, it's really expensive. So if you can make selfies work and post to social media and use that avenue to advertise, I think it's a cost savings for a company, and I think it's very beneficial because you reach a wider market. I think, but on the flip side of it, it's also kind of dangerous too, because it could consume your life
and put you in some awkward or dangerous situations when you're wanting to take that shock. Shock selfie or whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
So, we had a poll running, and I think we released it a little too prematurely, but I think we're going to run the poll again as to, do you take selfies? Have you ever taken a selfie? How often do you take a selfie? And I think we had weekly, daily, monthly, maybe on there.
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
Probably put hourly because that's probably falls into the category for some people, but you never know. Yeah. So check out our website. You can, check out the poll on there, and if you want to submit your answers, you'll remain anonymous.
Yeah. Well, the one that we had on there besides the frequency of your selfies is we asked, have you ever taken a selfie that you'd consider that would put yourself or others in danger?
Yeah.
Was the question. Something like that.
I answered no.
Yeah, I'm a chicken,
Yeah.
I'm pretty safe.
Yeah.
I don't like to take risks.
Well, it's like
except for this podcast.
Well, when I'm driving, it's hard. It's hard to take a selfie because I'm afraid I'm going to drop my beer. I just don't want to spill it.
You don't want to get your lap wet.
No, exactly. It's bad.
Yeah. Your van would smell like beer forever.
Oh, I wasn't talking about the company van. I wouldn't do that in the company van.
Oh, that's vodka. That doesn't have a smell, right?
So yeah, talking about that, how often do people take selfies, and when is an amount too much? We were joking kind of about the hourly, but
Well, at least 4 or 5 every minute.
So like I said before, we had that poll going on our website, and so far we've polled. It's not a good sample group, but we got 15 people that we polled. That's why we definitely need you to go on and take our poll.
There's 15 people that like us.
But our first question was, have you ever taken a selfie? And 13 people said yes, and 2 people said no. Who said no? Oh, wait, it's supposed to be anonymous.
Yeah, it is anonymous. But what kind of person would say no?
Well, maybe there are people out there that truly haven't taken selfies. I mean, I don't know. It's possible.
Well, I guess it depends on the demographic, the age group, whatever.
Good point.
I mean, how many senior citizens take selfies?
Right. Probably not many. Well, I don't know.
Well, I mean, they probably have people take pictures of them.
Yeah, right. And that's not really
but I mean,
counted as
doing
a
the
selfie.
actual,
Yeah, the whole,
here we go. And they buy the selfie stick, doubles as a cane. Oh, that's terrible.
The one I had wasn't big enough. It wouldn't have worked very good. So then the second question we asked is, if so, how often do you take and post selfies on social media? So 10 people said monthly, which isn't bad.
That's a healthy number.
2 people said weekly. 1 person said daily. You ready for the hourly?
Oh, is there really a...
It really is an hourly.
Okay.
It's only 2 people.
1 daily? Or one
daily.
One daily,
and
but
2 hourly.
2 hourly?
Yeah.
Wow. Congratulations.
But 10 were monthly. So that's not too bad.
Hourly. Is that someone that would be on Facebook 24/7?
I would think so. Yeah.
And just look at me. Yeah, I like it.
I don't have for some reason, I don't have an answer to, have you ever taken a selfie while driving or in a situation that would be considered dangerous? And,
Nobody wants to admit
well,
to
15
that.
people answered, but I don't know what the results were from that. So we'll have to get back to you on that. But at least 15 people answered. I'm just curious.
That's
what the
pretty
answers
good.
Are. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're still young. I'm old. Keith's young. The podcast is young.
The podcast is young.
Our YouTube channel is young.
We're only 8 episodes in.
8 episodes in, and I would like to do a yearly selfie-sode.
I think that would be cool.
Just kind of see how selfies
Evolve.
and also it would kind of help us see how our following evolves. On what kind of response we get. We got 15 this time.
Yes.
So,
Which isn't bad considering the poll went out, almost a month ago, right? Didn't we send it out about a month ago? So
something like that.
we were only into episode 5, I think, at that time, or 5 or 6, probably. 6, I think we're at. We put it out there. So that's not bad. That's a decent response.
Yeah. I mean, it's a percentage of those that follow us.
Well, we ran
so
it
it's
on
small.
Instagram as well too. We ran the poll on Instagram and Facebook, and this is just strictly from our website, so that's not from the Facebook results or the Instagram results.
Yeah. And if you are those that follow us on either the Instagram or Facebook or whatever, it'd really help us do is if you'd share the posts as well.
Yes.
Tag your friends and help us grow this channel.
Make it a drinking game, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Eventually we need to have a drinking game.
I think we do. We need to come up with something. Not like beer pong, but something, something
Yeah.
along those lines. Be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, one of the questions I had, and how do you think selfies have changed? I mean, you and I have been around for a while. How do you think selfies has changed us as a society? How's it changed in how we socialize? Back when we were growing up, we would socialize completely different than we do now. So, do you think selfies have changed that at all?
Well, I think the whole social media has changed everything dramatically.
I like dramatically. That was
Dramatically.
That was a new word.
Yeah, I like that too. Dramatically. So, and what I mean by that is, I mean, let's say before the cell phones or the smartphones. I would just say cell phones because cell phones have been around since the 1980s. The big old block things,
Good Lord, I remember those. The big antenna on them.
yeah. But since we went to the smartphone, you could go to a restaurant or go out party with your peers, and everybody would be talking to each other. Now you go see those same situations, go to a restaurant or hanging out with your friends, and everybody's talking to each other on their phones, you know.
And they're sitting across the table from each other.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you getting for dinner?
Yeah. We don't really need to talk.
But you just said a key there, though, because it wasn't really the introduction to cell phones. It was the introduction to texting, because that's what really changed things. Because the cell phone, when the cell phones first came out, you just take a phone call and that was it. It was no different than talking on a regular phone. But now that you had the ability to text, you now didn't have to physically speak to somebody. You can just type it, what you wanted to say. So,
well, true.
I think that was where the big change came.
And that actually kind of even started to take shape with pagers.
Yeah.
Because people are figuring out how to do little codes and stuff for, turn the thing upside down. It would say hello, or whatever.
I did that on a calculator when I was a kid.
Yeah. You come up with a series of numbers or whatever that would say different things or people could interpret. It really did kind of start back with the pager.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then when texting happened, people didn't have to actually talk to each other anymore.
Right.
Because before you'd pick up the phone, just call somebody. Now it's like before you call somebody, you text them and you save that phone call.
Well, I think what all started happening around the same time, and I forgive me, I don't remember what year it was because I was probably a teenager and naive to this stuff, but I really think when AOL came out and they started with the internet and texting started becoming popular, I think that's when a lot of things changed. Because I remember AOL, you could talk to, for the first time, you could talk to anybody worldwide. I mean, you're talking to somebody over in Europe, and it was like, wow, this is cool,
Yeah.
Before, when you try to call somebody in Europe on your phone, you get a hell of a phone bill,
For $14, you can get a whole half hour's worth of
Right. Yeah, exactly.
of internet time on AOL.
Right.
You go find your chat room, and you could become a prince.
Yes.
Or whoever you wanted to be, and talk to anybody anywhere in the world. Yeah. That's
And then internet dating took off, where you'd meet somebody from a different state and start dating them without even seeing them. And it just blew my mind how people would do that. But it was popular for a long time.
Yeah. It's not like the good old days when you'd go out to a bar and hang out and dance and pick somebody up because of the, DUI laws and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of dropped quite a bit. There used to be a lot more bars that we could play at.
Yes. Yeah. Without being dead by 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah. Everybody wants to beat the cops.
So I think I go back to my statement before that I think it's been both beneficial and hurtful. I mean, I think, as far as like companies or even us as musicians, I think social media and just the internet itself has been a positive thing. But I think also for society, it's been a negative thing because it's taken away our social skills. We don't know how to communicate anymore without texting.
Yeah.
And it's true. You watch some of these studies, you just Google it, you can see it. You watch people who lose their phone for an hour and you think their world's come to an end. I mean, it's nuts.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's definitely made the world a lot smaller.
yes. Yeah, it has. So I think we'd love to hear your opinion on this too. What do you think? What do you think about selfies? What do you think about social media in general? What do you think social media has done to our society? You think it's been good? You think it's been bad? Has it influenced your life in a positive way or a negative way? You can email us at thetruthaboutbeer@gmail.com or go on our website and leave us commentary.
Those are those are two very good ways to do it.
Yes.
Or just pick up the phone and call us. Not.
You can text us at, never mind, I'm not giving out that number.
We're doing this from an undisclosed location.
Yes.
Somewhere in Rattlecat Junction. Studio K.
Studio K, yes. So, are you curious when selfitis became a term?
I am. I'm just dying to find that out.
Take a guess. What year do you think, based on everything you've experienced over the years, what year do you think selfitis became an issue?
I would say that it had to be within the last 10 years at least.
You are correct.
And if we shrink it down a little bit more, then in the last 5 years?
You are correct again. You're only correct by a couple of months, but yes, you're correct.
Okay. Well, then we're
So 2014 is when everybody's they coined the term. It is selfitis, not selfieitis. It's selfitis.
Selfitis.
So,
I guess you could become a selfaholic.
You could be, yeah.
And then you could check into a 12-step program. Try to rid yourself of these
Hi, my name is
things.
Keith. I have selfitis. I
haven't taken a selfie for 10 days. Or I've been, what would the term be? I've been self-negative.
Self-negative.
I've been self-negative for 10 days now.
It just sounds like you're depressed, but well, you are. You're not taking selfies, but so Samsung did a poll. It's interesting that a person born after 1980 will have taken 25,000 selfies in a lifetime.
After 1980, huh?
After 1980.
That's all my kids.
Keep snapping. You got a long way to go. 25,000 selfies.
Wow. That's 75,000 between all my three kids.
I think my entire life I've maybe only taken 50 selfies so far, so I got a long way to go.
Man.
Damn.
Yeah, I think I'm probably under maybe 20.
Until this podcast came along.
Yeah.
Every time we do a gig now, we're taking selfies.
Yeah. Now, I guess I've been part of a selfie, but I haven't been the one actually taking the selfie.
That's true. That's true.
Been in a few of those situations.
What's kind of cool, too, because we played with a musician that every gig he's done, he takes a selfie with the band he plays with.
I think that's really cool.
And that's really cool. It's a good way to
It documents what you've done and who you've worked with. And, yeah.
Maybe we should start doing that.
Yeah. Nice little walk down memory lane.
I like that.
So we talked about one of our questions on our survey was that have you ever taken a selfie that you would consider dangerous or maybe put somebody else's life in danger, which we never got any responses to. Well, we did, but we got to see what they are.
Yeah, we can't read them at this point. But
so we put this little video together of some of those because it's kind of hard to really talk about it.
Yeah.
So anyway.
And you may have seen some of these videos where I call it selfies ending badly, if you would.
Yeah, gone wrong.
They're pretty popular on social media these days. We find a lot of these videos where people are getting injured and just doing, I'll flat out say it, just stupid things. I mean, things you wouldn't typically do if you weren't trying to impress somebody, you know.
Yeah.
So, but not all selfies have to end in tragedy.
No, they don't.
So be smart. Be smart when you're snapping the camera.
Yeah. Like I said, we would like to turn this into an annual series or selfie-sode.
I like selfie-sode. I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good
so an annual selfie-sode. And so what that would mean is throughout the year, would love to see, your selfies, either a selfie with your favorite brew or your favorite boo or whatever it is. But uplifting, good fun stuff. If you take a stupid one and it turns out okay, I guess that's all right.
Count your blessings.
Yeah.
I'd love to see some paranormal ones.
Oh, there you go.
That would be fun too. I don't know if you're gonna catch a selfie with a ghost, but you never know.
Take a picture of yourself and then you see somebody looking over your shoulder.
Yeah, I would definitely be sending that one in if we can see that.
That would be cool.
Yeah, it would be kind of cool. So enjoy these little videos and be safe out there when you're taking videos or selfies.
Well, there you have it. That's the truth about beer and
Selfies.
as far as we know. Well, until next time.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And be safe.
Yeah.
Welcome to the truth about beer.